Apparently, I am still refusing to accept that it is summertime, but it is indeed summertime. What are we doing today? Get this out of here. I really want to know, how do spaces like this get into our lives? There were a few periods in my life where I lived completely by myself, and even then, it never got quite this bad. But there was always spaces that accumulated just stuff, just a never-ending encroachment of stuff. I am, however, absolutely an optimist, and I do believe there will be a time where just all this excess stuff will not be in my life. And as 50 Cent from the Boondocks said, I'll either do that
or that track.
The goal for today is to write some music, but I don't know if I have it in me. I think I do. Well, super feel like it. Speaking of dying trying, one of my favorite pieces of media of all time is Gurren Lagann. Unfortunately, the high-res version of it is kind of hard to acquire these days. You can watch like a crappy version on Crunchyroll, but it is the most optimistic piece of media maybe ever made. But if you ever need like a pick-me-up and be like, oh, this is a losing battle, why even bother trying? That show will drill you through your face and say, it doesn't matter if it's a losing cause. We're gonna die trying. And on that note, let's write some music. This is something I've been putting off for a good while now because it's a little bit of a pain, but I need to get everything off of this desk so that I can tighten down all of the screws down here because they get loose after a while. And then stuff like that happens where I guess it's just out of balance or something and it won't go up and you have to press the button like 20 times. And it's getting pretty annoying, so let's fix it. Guess it didn't fix the problem. Oh, whatever. All right, I think we are ready to go. So I've talked about this before, but this is an ND filter, and basically what this lets you do is get natural motion blur that looks like this, as opposed to this. And I've been using fixed ND filters for at least the last year and a half. I finally started using them for Adventure Archives, and I've had some good success with these. Now, I've done a little bit of experimenting with variable ND filters, where you can change the strength of the filter. The hope is that with the variable ND filter, I won't have to take off the filter as often. But I need to do a couple of things. The first being, I need to see, do these two filters have the same color temperature? Because it has happened to me before where I have two different filters that are exactly the same brand, but they have different color temperatures. So first things first, we need to figure that out. And then second, we need to try to get a nice sunny white balance that looks exactly like the lens does without the filter. And we'll see if we can figure out how to do that. Which, by the way, if you use ND filters often outside, how have you managed to get the color looking exactly the same as the regular lens? Just white balancing with a white card, it doesn't really give you the same results as using it without the filter. So I don't know, maybe manual's the only way to do it. Okay, let's go outside. Did that mosquito get me? Is that why I'm itchy all of a sudden? Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to get a baseline using no filter, sunny white balance. So this is the baseline. Now let's put on the two filters and we want to see, do the filters differ? It doesn't matter if the color's wrong right now. We just want to compare the two to each other. Okay, this is filter 1 at minimum strength. We're going to change nothing and then put on filter 2 at minimum strength. Of course the sun went out. God, why can I just not get a sunny day to do this? I've been trying to do this for so long. Good Lord. Okay, well that's okay. We can still look at the sky. The sky should still be the same color. All right, let's go take a look. Okay, we're gonna have to use a light inside. I just wanna see, are the filters the same? For now, that's all I wanna see. This is filter 1 at minimum strength, and this is filter 2 at minimum strength. I really hope they match. That would be really helpful. Oh yeah. Yeah, those are pretty much identical. Let's put them in and then look at the scopes. Vector scope. They are functionally identical. That's great. Okay, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get the control. Sunny white balance, no filter. Okay, that's a sunny white balance. No filter. Now, we will do a custom white balance just to get us a starting point. Why don't they show you what the color temperature is? Like, this does me no good to do a custom one if I can't further adjust it. Well, I guess that's why we're gonna have to eyeball it. All right, I think this is pretty close. This is 5200K plus magenta 3. Looks pretty good. Let's see what it looks like with skin. Does skin look natural? Looks okay. Obviously, you can't see the sky and me at the same time. I don't know how to do this, guys. I don't know what I'm doing. The nice thing about a variable ND filter is you can set your aperture to whatever you want. And then you can just darken the image with your ND filter instead. You make it way dark, less dark. You get some of that weird stuff if you go too far, because this is a cheapo one. I just wanted to get a cheap one to get started. Oh, and with a waveform, man, you can just dial it in right where you want it. Right where you want it, yeah. Another thing we can do is we can isolate the skin and then look at the vector scope. Let's do that. Bam! If you look at this line, it should be following the skin tone line right there. And it does seem to be doing that. Change the tint, make it go all over the place, but that's pretty close. Maybe magenta 2. Just a little less magenta, and I think we're good. Yeah, let's do magenta 2. Okay, we've got the variable ND filter on. We're shooting with the 8-18 on the G9 II. We're at 5200K with 2 on magenta. I think that looks pretty solid. Check out the sky. Yep, I'm happy with that. So part of the reason why I'm getting this ready is because me and Timothy are going to be shooting some side videos in Denver, and I've shot one video with the Panasonic G9 II so far. I didn't really need to use ND filters because I was in the shade so much, but I'm imagining we're gonna have quite a bit more sun, so I'll actually get an opportunity to use these. This will only be the second time I've used variable ND filters. I just got what was cheapest on Amazon because I just need something that works well enough. I just don't want to spend a bunch of money on a filter before I even know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? But I think that looks good. Let's go for a run. So I kept getting high noise alerts on my watch whenever I would go for a run. And I was always just like, why? I don't understand why I keep getting these notifications because my volume was not very high. It was the wind noise. And when I really started paying attention to it, I was like, oh man, this wind is really loud. So I've been using this to block out the wind and it does a great job, but it is also quite warm. We used to have these just like little muffs that went right over your ear that kind of just like snapped onto place. Those would be perfect, but I don't know what happened to them. So it's the hot one for now. I also do not have my running shoes. We will make do. I was sick for the last week. Couldn't exercise, couldn't follow any regular routine, didn't have the energy for anything. And I'll tell you, man, the best part about not being sick is being able to exercise. Oh, it feels so much better. I think I've mentioned this before, but one thing that really sucks is I don't like playing video games when I'm sick. You'd think that being sick would be the perfect time to catch up on some games. No, I just don't enjoy it. I just got Kirby and the Forgotten Land, and how am I supposed to enjoy that incredibly bopping music when I don't even have the energy to get up? And if I'm gonna be playing this awesome, basically modern day Nintendo 64 game with incredible music, I wanna be able to bop to the music, you know what I mean? I've been remembering what it's like to be able to just jump out of the gym. And you know, this is a very good feeling, and I'm starting to miss it. Let's get some of our jumping ability back. Should we do that? Yeah, I think so. It's better than I thought I would do. Let's get a couple more in. Not bad, but definitely used to be easier. I wonder if that is the same net I put up a few years ago. I think I'm the only one who ever uses this hoop, so probably. Looks pretty new though. No mas. This might be a dumb idea because I was just sick for a week. Let's sprint home. It's burning badly. Let's push through it. Almost there. Oh, good God. It's John Cougar up in here. John Cougar MC. And now, a splash of electrolytes. Or whatever's remaining in this. Really sucks that we can't inhabit each other's experiences. Because I really want to know if exercise can have this effect on more people. I know you want to exercise, but you don't because you don't feel like it. Everybody's circumstances are different, but for me, there are many times where I don't feel like exercising. And then when I do, that's all I needed. So all I'm saying is, give it a shot. Try it, pursue the green tasty, you might like it. Okay, thanks for watching today's vlog. We finally did that talk at the Defiance, Ohio Public Library. I think the talk went pretty well, but it was amazing meeting so many of you. This is actually only the second meetup we've ever done in the 10 years that we've been doing Adventure Archives. Which also, this was the 10-year anniversary. We probably should have mentioned that. Technically June was, but every time we do something like this, I always regret that I wasn't able to spend more time talking to each person. Actually, this is the second time this year where there's been an event where everybody's just been focused on us. First one was my wedding, obviously, and I felt the same way. I was like, man, all these people came, and I barely got to say hi to everybody. And at this meetup, I've met people who I've been talking to online for years now. And I basically got to say like a sentence or two. It's never enough time. So which probably means we just need to do more meetups. But seriously, thank you to everybody who made it out. If you weren't able to make it, I recorded it and there's a link down below in the comments. It's not the most interesting talk, but you might learn a thing or two about us. But yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you have a good one. I will actually see you tomorrow.